Hey guys, how's it going? So today I wanted to share a really cool song with you. I want to show you how to play River Water by a band called Moon Taxi. I think this is a very underrated song and a very underrated band. They got a lot of cool stuff. You should check them out. I'll put a link in the description so you can see this music video. So the first time I heard this song, I saw the music video for it. It was 2014. I just had surgery on my left ear and I was laid up for a few weeks, and I was just sitting there watching TV, just high on painkillers. And I had a free trial to some Palladia HD channel that was on DirecTV at the time. It was basically a music channel that played all contemporary music videos, and this music video came on, and man, I was just in heaven when it came on. This song really spoke to me. I just fell in love with it. The video is so cool. It's like 15 hipsters in the woods all playing different instruments and singing in harmony. It's a really fun video. It's such a cool song. There's a couple of different versions to this song I wasn't aware of. There's like the original one that's on the record, then they made an acoustic version of it. I think the acoustic version is by far the best, but if you see them live, they usually play the other version of it. But it's just so cool. So for the guitar part, we're going to be trying to mimic some of the banjo and the mandolin, and I'll show you all these different parts you can layer if you want to build a loop. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to play, and it's a great song. Always puts me in a good mood. So let's just go ahead and get into the banjo intro. Okay, so the song starts out with this cool little banjo part. We're basically just arpeggiating an F major chord to a C major chord. So to try to mimic the banjo, we're going to double the part, just because the banjo already kind of sounds like a muffled guitar string that's ringing out. So it's like, well, how do you get it to sound muffled, but also get it to ring out? So if you put your guitar in the bridge pickup, get that real nasally sound, and if we double it and just do a muted and then do it on top of it, let it ring, it kind of gets a cool little banjo effect. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start out with F major, 3 on D, 2 on G, 1 on B. Palm mute it, get your palm down towards the bridge, and we're going to go D, G, back to D, and then B. Then hit the G string, then hit the D string. Okay, and then after that, we're going to hit the open G. And after you hit the open G, we're going to go to 2 on the D string. Then we're going to hit open G to 1 on B. It's kind of like an A minor 7 shape, but we're just playing a C major triad. Okay, it's all kind of timing here. Then we're just going to hit the open D string, and then the open G to open B, and that'll be your part. Okay, then you can just double it, play it, let it ring out. Okay, and then just layer those, and that'll be your whole banjo part. So after that, then we get into the verse part and the main chords of the song. So let's go ahead and get into the rest of the verse. Okay, so the chords of the verse are pretty much just going to be F, C, and G. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, when I'm building the loop, I use a pedal called a Pog. It's kind of one of those octave things. You can kind of get that organ type of effect. And since we have a mandolin going on and all this other kind of like instrumentation, I just thought it would make a really cool, fun kind of sound for it, make it sound more full. So I'm going to play these all triads, so this will also be like a great triad exercise to kind of work through F, C, and G. So we're going to start out 5, 6, 5, play your D shape F major. Then we're going to go C major, 5, 5, 3, G, B, and E. Okay, so we have, then we're going to go G major, 4 on G, B and E on 3. Alright, switch pickups here. Okay, then the second time we're going to go back to this F major, back to the same C major, then we're going to walk up and we're going to play the D shape of G major. It goes 7, 8, 7, G, B, and E. Okay, so your first half you'll have, okay, then we're going to turn it around, the loop will start looping that, and then to play along to that, we're going to double that part, and we're going to start playing it up here higher on the neck. And this is when it'll kind of give more like that mandolin type of effect. So then we're going to play F major, 10, 10, 8, G, B, and E. then C major 9 8 8 8, then G major 7 8 7. Okay, then we're going to go back to F major 10 10 8, then back to C major 9 8 8, then G major. We're going to go 12 12 10 G, B, and E. All right, so that second half you'll have okay, so that'll be all the verse chords that you can stack. We'll go through them all real quick. Okay, and then that loops, and then to add some like low end to that, you can play open chords if you wanted to. I just went ahead and played power chords, so I had some nice kind of bass going in. So you can just go 1 3 3 2, kind of your standard F kind of power chord almost, and then your C major 3 5 5 5, and then your G major 3 5 5 4. Okay, just to give it some bottom end. Okay, and you can add these however you want. Sometimes if you add too many, it starts sounding kind of funky, so just kind of be selective with how many triads you choose to layer. And then from there, what did I do next? So then there's like this kind of like a drum part. This kind of comes in the second half of the first verse. So I'm just going to do that. Down, down, up, down, up. It's basically like an eighth note or a quarter note, and then like a 16th note, and then a triplet. Okay, so I just throw that in to give it some more percussiveness with the rhythm. And then after that, what did I do next? Alright, so then after that little muted part, I'll come up here and I'll mimic that little banjo intro again, but I'll play it up here higher on the neck with your F, C, and G triad. Okay, so you can do that. It just kind of, there's this tagline that goes on throughout. I didn't put it in the loop because it kind of got in the way at some points from, I don't know, it doesn't do it throughout the whole song, but he kind of does this like a da-na-na-na-na-na, like a, kind of does that throughout it. Like he'll sing a lyric, he'll sing a line, and then it'll be, but this kind of adds that in. You can still kind of hear it at the end. Alright, so we have 10 10 8. Same kind of picking. And then after you go down, up, then go to 8 on B. Then you just go 9 8 8, down, G, B, and E. And then you just go 7 8 7 to your G major. Okay, and that's that little part. Alright, then I added that in. What did I do after that? I think that was everything that I did for the main part, right? And then we get into the vocal melody. So let's do the vocal melody part now. Alright, so for the vocal melody, I thought it'd be cool to use thirds, kind of give it like a fatter sound. And we're just mimicking what he does in the first verse. So the phrasing of his lyrics will change kind of throughout the verses, but all of the notes will be the same. So you just kind of got to make the timing different, but use the same notes and double stops that we're going to use here. So this is all going to be working right out of your C major pentatonic scale. And we start out, we're going to slide into 7 on D, then get G and B on 5, then slide up 7 and 6 G and B, up to 9 and 8 G and B. We spent the night. Then I slide back real quick, back from 9 8 to 7 6, and then I'll pull off, from 7 6 G and B to 5 on G and B and bar it. And I'll just give it some vibrato up and down. Okay, then just following the vocal melody, same thing, same notes, slide in 5 7 D, bar G B on 5, slide up 7/6 to 9/8 G and B. And then after you slide up, don't slide back, just go back and pick 7/6 on G and B. Okay. Then you go GB5, 7D to G and B5. Alright, so your first half. Okay, then we found a place. We're going to slide in 7 on D, get GB on 5, then get G and B in 12. Okay, and then we're going to go up here to 9 and 8 G and B, right out of your C major triad. We found a place. He kind of goes up in the register. It's a parking set on our way. We slide in 7 on D, GB5, slide up 7/6 to 8, 9 G and B, 7/6, 5/5, 7D back to 5 G and B, right? So that's that whole part. Okay, then we walk for miles. Just gonna walk it up, slide in 7 on D, get G and B on 5, then we'll go 7/6 GB up to 9/8 GB, then I'll slide off, and then we left the path far behind. Same thing we've been doing, right? If you have the notes here, I'm not going to keep calling out the notes, it's kind of redundant, but same notes we've been playing, you just change the phrasing of how he's singing it, so just have that in your head now that you have the notes, right? Okay, so let's see where I'm at now. Yeah, so I left the path far behind. We found a place by the riverside. Okay, and that'll be all that part, right? It's just a lot of sliding in, doing these thirds and double stops right out of your C major scale. Alright, so that'll be your whole little verse part. Okay, and then the hook comes in and we danced in the river water. Same chords going on. All that's still happening, and you have that little part going on, and then we get into the guitar solo, right? So let's go ahead and get into the guitar solo. Alright, so after the second chorus, there's a cool little banjo solo that comes in. We're going to be mimicking that on the guitar. We're just working straight out of your C major pentatonic scale. So we're going to start out. Alright, so we have, we're walking right down the scale, man. So we have 5 on E. Then do a quick little pull off from 8 to 5 on B. Then go 7/5 on G, pull off. Actually, we just picked 7 to 5 on G. Then go 7 on D. Back to 5 on G. Hit 5 on G again. Back to 7 on D. Then back to 5 on G, right? We're going to slide up 7 to 9 on G, get 5 on G, and that'll be your first half there. Second half, we're going to repeat the same first part. But as we slide in 7 to 9, instead of going, we're going to slide in 7 to 9, and then land 8 on the B string. Alright, so we have. Okay, so as you slide up 7 to 9, you kind of make it a slow slide. So you kind of hear the 8th fret a little more. And then we're going to get 8 on the B string. You don't want these to ring out. You don't want to hear, right? Because the banjo doesn't have that kind of sustain, so you want to make it staccato. Okay, and this is the part I was talking about. I couldn't get it exact because of the way the banjo's tuned. His double stop's going to sound a little different. But it's close enough, right? So we have 8 on E. Then we're going to hit, after we hit 8 on the high E, we're going to hit the double stop, 10 on B and 8 on E. Okay. Maybe what did I hit first? Yeah, I hit the double stop first after I hit 8 on E. Then I'll hit 10 on B by itself twice. Then I'm going to hit 8 on B 3 times. Kind of let that B and E ring out. Then go 10 on B. Then go 9 on G. Okay, then we'll finish it. After you get 9 on G, go back 7 to 5 on G. Slide in 7 to 9 on G. Go back 7 5. 7D to 5G. And then 7 to 5 on G to finish it, right? So that'll be all together. So that's all of your solo part there. And then we get into this kind of like bridge breakdown part where he introduces a major 7 chord, right? So let's get into this little bridge part. Alright, so after the guitar solo, there's this cool little bridge part, this kind of breakdown. And from this bridge part till the ending of the song, there's a lot of new chords and things that are introduced that we haven't heard up to this point. So in the beginning, this will be the first time he introduces the F major 7 into the F C G progression. And then from there, we add in E minor and D minor and some other stuff going on. So let me just go ahead and play through it real quick, and then we'll break it all down. So that's how the song is going to end from the bridge till the ending. So let's break all that down, okay? So we start out going F major 7, C to G. So I'm going to play it all here as bar chords on the 3rd and 5th fret because it sits nicely under your fingers. You can stay in one position, but you can play these anywhere you can find them. I just think this sounds the most like the recording. So we're going to have D on 3, bar G, B, and E on 5 with your ring finger. Then we're going to take that same shape up a set of strings, play your C major, 3 on A, bar D, G, B on 5. And then just bar your G major chord. Bar all of 3, have 5, 5, 4, A, D, and G. We're going to do that 4 times. This is that part where he's saying, you know, don't you want a Dixie swim, come on, jump right in. And then it changes again, right? So 4 times. after the fourth time, we're gonna go. We're gonna outline this F major to E minor to C. So we're going to start out, we're going to do this F over A triad. We're going to have 7 on D, 5 on G, 6 on B. We're just going to pick it D, G, B, mute them out. Then go down to this E minor triad, 5, 4, 5, D, G, and B. And then to C major, 3, 2, 0, 1. Alright, so we're just going to pick these out the first time. Then the rest of the time we're going to strum them. So you have... Then I'll sit there and I'll pick between 3 on the A string and the open G. Okay, then we're going to strum them all. So F, just go that F over A to E minor to C, right? So, and I think it does that, it's either 2 times or 4 times, I can't remember, but the change up, it'll go this is a really cool part, very clever. So we're gonna, after we do that strum, F, E minor to C, and you're going back and forth between A and the open G. You're gonna hit open G to 2 on G while holding that C major chord. So you want that 3rd fret and the G string to ring out, right? So you're gonna have so pick down open G to 2 on G, then mute that out, then just pick 1 on the B string. Then we're gonna go D minor to E minor. Kind of play with sliding in and out of these. Go 3, 2, 3 D, G, B, 5, 4, 5 D, G, B. That'll be your E minor. Slide off of it, right back to C major, 3, 2, 0, 1, and then pick from the A string to open G string. Okay, then you just repeat that pattern. He says, and we danced, and he says it, I don't know, maybe it's 32 bars worth. It's quite a bit. So that goes on and on. So that we get out of it, we strum out C major, and then we're going to go into F major 7 to E minor to D minor, C major. And I'm going to play the rhythm like a down up, muted hit, and then 2 upstrokes, and then 2 muted hits, but you can play it however you want. I'm just trying to kind of mimic the recording. So we have F major 7, 3 on D, bar G, B, and E on 5. And then we're going to go 5, 4, 5, 3, just playing the full E minor. Take that same shape, 2 frets down, 3, 2, 3, 1, same rhythm. Then your C major, alright? And then it stays on that until the song ends. And then he ends just strumming C major and just doing some right hand rhythm stuff. But that's how the song kind of fades out, right? So that's the whole tune. That's how it ends. Such a great song. Such a cool use of just simple chords, but really arranged in a way that is just, it's so cool, man. I really can't say enough great things about this song. But that's the whole little bridge part. So let's go over it real slow, right? So where are we? You got our 4 little FCGs. so that's the whole tune. It's so much fun to play. It's really fun to make a loop with it. It's at 125 beats a minute if you want to make a loop. It's great practice, great triad practice, great alternate picking. I mean, you got everything in here. You got your pentatonic scale, you got your double stops, you got your alternate picking, your string skipping, you have your triads. It's really just a cool use of everything, and I'm really impressed by these guys and the way they arrange this. But anyway, man, I hope you enjoy this song. Hope you dig it as much as I do. Check the link in the description to listen, watch the video. But that's everything. Just practice slow, have fun. See you next time.